morning. Good morning. I'm Brenda Parker, one of the accompanists here, and I'm going to just start us off with a little Mozart. Let your soul soar wherever it wants to go. Mine kind of likes to go to outer space when I hear this piece.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Leanda Gavin. I am a member of the Board of Directors here at UUFF. I'm also a member of the Chalice team, which is the team that helps to plan and prepare these Sunday services. So on behalf of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fayetteville, I welcome you all here today. Special welcome if you are visiting us for the first time. I hope that we're giving all the information that you need to feel comfortable. If you would like to talk further about our services or about Unitarian Universalism, I'm glad to talk with you. Our minister is off appointment until August, but she's always glad to talk with folks as well. She'll be back August 1st. There are white cards in front of you, on the seat backs in front of you. If you would like to fill out your contact information, we use those to send out like weekly activities lists and things like that. You can always put those in the offertory baskets as they come around. In the spirit of community, we also have a tradition during most of our services where we share our joys and concerns. And the yellow cards in the seat backs in front of you are what we use for those. And so you can fill those out, and there will be a portion of the service, thank you, where you can bring those forward. Please indicate if you would like your joy or concern shared, because we will share them from right here. But there's also an option to keep them private if you would just like for the minister or the care team to know. If you need hearing assistance, David, back here in the corner, is our AV guy. He's glad to help you. We love children in our service. We work very hard to keep our services intergenerational. We know that children make noises. We're cool with it. It's fine. Mine have made all the noises here. It's totally fine. However, if you would like for your children to not be in the service, there is the foyer right out here. The service is piped out. You can hear it. You're welcome to sit out there. There's also a fantastic staffed nursery downstairs, and they will take great care of your kids. And my children love that as well. They always have fun. Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious tradition. In this room, we all come from very different backgrounds, life roads, and spiritual practices. But we are unified by our common values of justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. We're glad that you've chosen to spend your Sunday morning with us. Reverend John Johnson is delivering our message here today, and he is going to give our opening words.
Where does the time go? We often ask. Well, it goes the same place it's always gone, and no one has ever known where that is. We can't bottle it and put a stopper in it. We can't slow it down. We can't speed it up. And like the dollar bill in your wallet, you can spend it any way you want, but you can only spend it once. And when it's gone, it's gone. What we can try to do is spend it the best way we are able.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Please join us in lighting our chalice. Love is the spirit of this community, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in truth, and to help one another. Thus do we covenant together. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Glad to be with you guys today. We are going to sing Oh, the Beauty in a Life. You have probably never heard this song ever. And the tune is different. And that is because it is a traditional Filipino folk tune. The writer of this song, his name is Toribio Quemada. He has a very interesting story, and he is one of our UU martyrs. It is kind of a sad story, but he lived a really interesting, cool life, and he came to UUism in a very interesting way. So I would encourage you to look up his story later. It's a little bit of a downer, so we're not going to hear the whole story today. But if you read music, this is one you'll want to get the hymnal for. It's 182, and we're just going to go on this journey together. Stand as you're willing and able. Oh, the beauty in a life that illumines honor anew, that models wise and gracious ways to every seeker, that every day like a cross between a waltz and a drinking song to me, which all good hymns feel like rousing drinking songs at times. Thank you very much.
That wanted to make a point about the importance of prioritizing how we spend our time. The professor stood in front of his class with a display of items. He took a large, empty jar and filled it with rocks, approximately 2 inches in diameter. He then asked the class if the jar was full, and they agreed, yes, the jar was full. The professor then took a box of pebbles and added them to the jar, and gave it a little shake to move the pebbles into the open areas around the rocks. The professor asked the class again if the jar was full. They agreed. Yes, it is full this time. The professor then took a box of sand and added it to the jar, filling the spaces between the rocks and the pebbles. He asked again, now, is the jar full? They laughed and agreed, yes, it's full. This jar represents your life. The big rocks signify the really important things in your life, such as health, family, and friends. The pebbles are the other things that matter in your life, such as work or school. And the sand signifies the remaining small stuff, such as material possessions. Now, if you were to reverse the order of filling the jar and add the sand first, there would not be enough room for the rocks and the pebbles. The same principle applies to your life. If you spend too much time on the small stuff, you won't have enough space or time to focus on the things that are truly important, the big rocks. So, prioritize the big rocks first. Practice self-care, spend quality time with the people you love, and the rest is just pebbles and sand. They will always find some space.
One of our special traditions in building community is that we share our life transitions with one another, and we invite you today to come forward and share your joys or concerns as you wish. You are welcome to drop a stone. Joanna has stones here. You drop a stone into the water. You don't have to fill out a yellow card to drop a stone. If you do have a yellow card, you can hand it to me as you come forward. If you don't want to leave your seat, that's fine too. Just hold it up. Somebody will come around and collect it. Please do remember to indicate if you would like to keep it private or not on your card. If you are joining us on Facebook, you can share your joy or concern in the chat. That will be read out loud. Those are public. The internet is forever. We can't control that. So just remember that as you type your joys and concerns there. Brenda? any joys and concerns to share on Facebook? And also, this one doesn't have a name on it, but the next few months may be challenging as we move into an election cycle. Let us remember the power of love and community as we go forward. Let us overcome with the bond of our unity. Together our love is strong and everlasting. We will prevail together. Joanna, will you drop a few more stones for unspoken joys or concerns, or the things that may come up through the week? Thank you. The important work of this fellowship is possible because of generous donations of time, energy, and money. Every contribution of every size is helpful, and we appreciate it. And we are going to pass the offering baskets now. We invite you to share financially if you're able this morning. If you prefer to not use the baskets, we have various ways that you may also give as well. And Fawn also takes checks in the office during the week.
The senior minister was unexpectedly called out of town. And so he asked his junior associate to give the sermon on Sunday. And on the following Monday, when the senior minister had returned to town, he asked a church member how the service had gone. The church member said, "Well, to tell you the truth, it was just about the worst sermon I ever heard. Dry as dirt." Well, the minister was a little surprised and a little puzzled, and so he asked another church member what he thought about the worship service. That church member said, "Oh, I'll tell you what, Reverend, that sermon was so bad it just about bored the paint off the wall." Now the minister was really curious, so he asked the associate minister how he thought the service had gone. The associate said, "Oh, it went just great, just great. I didn't have time to write my own sermon, so I just used one of your old ones." all, Renee isn't here today. She's... But she's not the senior minister anyway, and I'm not the junior associate, so I don't know who we're going to blame today. Maybe Jean. Almost 4 centuries ago, a Dutch mathematician named Christian Huygens invented a new religion. He didn't mean to. All he did was invent the world's first pendulum clock, which allowed people to keep more accurate track of time than ever before. Now, there had been other kinds of clocks, to be sure, but this kind of mechanical clock turned out to be the most accurate timekeeper in the world for the next 300 years. And over the decades, it came to pass that this power attracted millions of followers. At first, there were only a few large, bulky statues of this god that stood in the hallways of important places. And then progress allowed this new religion to be spread abroad among the unconverted. People began to have images of this god in their homes. And smaller images of the god were manufactured. Whoops. Don't show your hand too quick. Smaller images of this god were manufactured so that people could carry them around in their pockets. It was 1656 when Huygens invented his clock, but as early as 1726, Jonathan Swift could already see where this invention was going to lead, and he wrote about it in Gulliver's Travels. When Gulliver was washed ashore in the land of the Lilliputians, the king of the tiny people sent investigators to find out what they could learn about this fearsome giant. The investigators reported several things of interest, one of which was what appeared to be a giant white carpet, which was large enough to cover the entire floor of the royal palace, and which, if you've read the book, of course, turned out to be Gulliver's handkerchief. But the most baffling thing they found was a giant round machine which was made of metal and glass and had numbers all the way around it on the inside. As they described this machine to the king, they said that perhaps it had something to do with the god back in the land of the giants, because Gulliver consulted it so often. The machine, of course, was Gulliver's watch. Then came the school bell and the Industrial Revolution and the punch clock and standard time and daylight savings time. And now this idol of Western civilization hangs on the walls of every home and office and public place. And its worshipers bow down and look into its face many times a day, waiting for signs that it's time to go to work, time to sleep, time to eat. Panic-stricken believers flee in terror before it, lest they be late and incur its wrath. One of the ironies of technology is that we human beings are in constant danger of becoming enslaved by the very things that were supposed to make our lives more convenient. Day planners and computers and internet service at motels and on airplanes and answering machines and call forwarding and call waiting and fax machines and Palm Pilots and pagers and cell phones have taken many of us hostage no matter where we go. And maybe part of the reason we surround ourselves with these things is that the busier we are, the more virtuous we feel. One of the most popular paradigms of the business world in recent years tells how on the great plains of Africa, every morning when the sun comes up, a gazelle wakes up somewhere. And the gazelle knows that in order to survive, he must run faster than the fastest lion, or he will become the main course for lunch. And when the sun comes up, somewhere a lion is also waking up, and he knows that he must outrun at least the slowest gazelle, or he will not have lunch. In the end, says this parable, whether you are a lion or a gazelle, either way, when the sun comes up, you better be running. This modern-day parable has been told over and over again at motivational seminars and business conventions, pumping people up to get out there and outrun the competition and eat them for lunch before somebody eats you. That's a very popular paradigm about the way the world works. And maybe that's not all bad. Most of us have probably known a person or two who could use a little motivation. Stress-related illnesses kill thousands of people every year. We know that. But you hardly ever hear of anybody who died from being lazy. But maybe it could happen. Next to the clock, cell phones must be about the most addictive form of technology there is today. And even though they have been around for years, I still find myself bewildered. I go to the grocery store and I hear someone behind me say, "Hi there, how are you?" And I turn around saying, "Hey, I'm fine, how are you?" Only to find out the lady behind me is talking on her cell phone while examining a can of green beans. But seriously, I admire those of you who can do more on your phones than just talk on them. 24/7, we are at the mercy of some device or other that either rings, beeps, buzzes, vibrates, or plays some kind of evil tune. No wonder. Stress is one of our greatest killers. I remember hearing a sermon by Archbishop Desmond Tutu in which he talked about the clash of values that often occurred when white Europeans first began to bring industry to his country. And the Archbishop talked about a group of tribesmen who were hired to carry some heavy equipment to a remote outpost in the jungle. It was a place so remote it couldn't be reached any other way than on foot. And after several days of difficult travel, the natives sat down to rest. The rest took longer than their impatient white employers thought it should, and they asked the chief why they couldn't get moving again. The chief said, "Sir, we are waiting for our souls to catch up with our bodies." Jesus was on foot too. But it's clear that he felt stressed out on occasion. But unlike a lot of us, caught up in the busyness of life, he recognized the need for rest and recreation, which is what the word recreation really means. Recreating ourselves, rehumanizing ourselves so that we are fit for the job and fit to live with as a human being. And after a period of intense interaction with others, he would often slip away to some quiet place to rest and to let his own soul catch up. Listen to this passage from the Gospel of Mark. In the morning, while it was still very dark, Jesus got up and went out to a deserted place, and there he prayed. And Simon and his companions hunted for him, and when they found him, they said to him, "Everyone is searching for you." Now, sometimes the tone of voice you use helps people interpret what you mean. And I think it would be instructive if we could hear exactly how the disciples said those words, "Everyone is searching for you." I have often read these words as if the disciples were scolding Jesus for sneaking off and hiding. "Where have you been? Everybody's been looking for you." Is it something that only ministers feel, or do some of the rest of us feel a little guilty if we take a little time off? How can you go fishing when there's so much work to be done? But I wonder if it's just as likely that they were saying it in a very different tone. "Oh, Lord, everyone is looking for you again. We're crying out loud. Can't you take off 5 minutes without the phone ringing?" Jesus understood that if you do not take time to rest and feed your own spirit, it isn't very likely you're going to have much to share with others. One of these days, we say, I'll slow down when I'm a little more caught up. One of these days, I'll spend more time with the family. But when you get into the habit of saying one of these days about almost anything, that day will never come. One of these days, you'll wake up and look around and wonder where the time went. How did the kids grow up and you not notice? Or why are you laying there in a hospital bed with tubes running everywhere and people bending over you and taking your pulse? And then it will be a different kind of machine that is doing the beeping. Ask Renee or Brenda or Jory, and they will tell you this. Good music isn't just a matter of playing the correct notes in the correct order. The space in between the notes is just as important as the notes themselves. Good music depends on knowing the right notes to play, but also knowing when to play fast, when to play slow, when to pause, and when to rest. We too need to know when to play, when to work, when to pause, and when to rest. As Gabe is going to remind us, it's a matter of getting our priorities in order.
just the other day. It came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away. He was talking before I knew it, and as he grew, he'd say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. My son turned 10 just the other day. He said, thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw? He said, not today, I got a lot to do. He said, that's okay, and he walked away, but his smile never dimmed. He said, I'm gonna be like him, yeah. You know I'm gonna be like him. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. My son came home from college just the other day. So much like a man, I just had to say, son, I'm proud of you. Can you sit for a while? He shook his head and he said with a smile, what I'd really like, Dad, is to borrow the car keys. See you later, can I have them, please? And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. I've long since retired, my son's moved away. I called him up just the other day. Said I'd like to see you, if you don't mind. He said I'd love to, Dad, if I could find the time. See, my new job's a hassle and the kids got the flu, but it's sure nice talking to you, Dad. It's been sure nice talking to you. And as I hung up the phone, and as I hung up the phone, it occurred to me, my boy was just like me. He'd grown up just like me. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then.
Let's sing together. Come sing a song with me. This is a classic. Most of us know this one. All right.
Please join us in extinguishing this flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Gabe, you nailed it. In the midst of our busy lives, it can become easy to put off things that are really important. One of these days, we say, when everything is just right. But if not here, then where? If not now, then when?
Still feeling that song, so I'm going to forget everything that I'm supposed to tell you right now. These are a list of our events going on this week. These are also in the back of your order of service if you want to take that with you and have it for the week. Someone asked me to mention that I think probably everyone's aware that our religious exploration classes that take place downstairs at 10 are on hold for the summer. However, there is an adult group meeting sort of informally downstairs at 10 o'clock, and I've heard that's a lot of fun. So if you would like to join that, that's what's happening. Also, very, very sad announcement. Alex in the back, we're going to put Alex on the spot. Alex in the back is our fantastic, fantastic nursery director. She is moving away to pursue a degree in play therapy counseling. We are going to miss her so much. My children they would go live with Alex if I would let them, like totally. And she has just been fantastic, and we want to show our appreciation for her and what she's done for us over the years. We are going to have pie afterwards for coffee hour. Alex gets the first piece. Nobody rush the pie. There's also a card out there if you would like to sign it and let Alex take your well wishes away with her. She's going to be in Jonesboro, so not too far away, but still kind of far. On a happier note, though, Liz, I don't know if is Liz up here? Or she's still downstairs? Okay. Liz also works in the nursery, but she is going to be taking over as nursery coordinator. She's been with us, I believe, probably since the first of the year. Also fantastic. We're just very lucky to have both of them, and we just would like to show our love and appreciation.